This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
Yes, sir, there's a monster on your screen. That is the Monster Mile, otherwise named as Miles. That actually is the Monster Mile. As we welcome you into the virtual Dover Motor Speedway on iRacing as we get you ready for the 9th race of the Sim500 FEG Xfinity Series season at the Monster Mile of Dover, Delaware. It is round number 9, as I promised, and it is going to be a fun night of racing as we get you ready here this evening. I am, of course, the captain, and we're getting ready for some fun racing here for 130 laps around this 1 mile oval. And I'm trying to figure out why my info's not showing up on the screen, but I'll look into that here in just a second. But qualifying just ending as we'll get ready to do the warm-up. There it is. Hey, look at there. Hey, it was there for a second. 130 laps tonight. 65 is the halfway point in this race. As usual, the iRacing default weather as we get you ready for 130 miles of racing around this track. Going to be a lot of strategy in play, potentially. So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Unfortunately, I was unable to get the points cut up and stuff for the race this evening, so I'm just going to drag the internet over onto the screen here and take a look at the Sim Racer Hub website and show you the point standings entering tonight. It is right there in front of you. Daniel Falkingham, after his 6th win in 8 races, has a 71-point lead over Pedro Mojica. Josh Adams 3rd. Chad Coleman sits in the 4th position, and Mike Kelly is in the 5th position. How does the laps work? Well, that's where we are right now. The same 4 people that were in the running as of last week for that Fanatec CSL Direct Drive wheel from the Ford Entertainment Group. The same 4 up there at the top. Adams, Coleman, Arnold, and Sweeting have run all 947 laps so far completed this season. So that is where we sit right now. But we're ready to go tonight for the 130 laps of racing. The cars are on pit road, ready to rock and roll. And let's get you down there to the grid in the starting lineup for this 130-lap main event. And, well, what do you know? Daniel Falkingham on the pole, 23.435 second lap. He'll start next to Pedro Mojica, who sits 2nd in points. Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, they'll start in row number 2. Chad Coleman, Bob Gillenwater. Row number 3. Row 4, Jimmy Coleman, Scott Simley. Good qualifying effort for the 12 car. Doy Woods, Chuck Sweeting in the top 10 there. Kevin D. Brown, Charles Woods will make up row number 6. Row number 7, Mike Kelly, Josh Adams, Brian Wortman. He's got a lot of starts here at Dover virtually alongside Ron Holyfield. Kevin England, Jeff Ryan there in row number 9. Glenn Campbell, John Mustian Jr. in row 10. J. Randall Watkins and Eric Arnold in row number 11. Donnie Leah making a return to the series tonight. He'll start there in the 23rd position next to Josh Parker. And the rest of your lineup, Anthony Calantoni, Joey Jatina, Randy Oakham, Doug Sigmund, and Gerald Livingston will make up the 29 cars on the grid. It'll be one quick pace lap, and they will be going on a track that's concrete, 24 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 degrees of corners on the banking on the straightaways, is the reason why it is called the Monster Mile. As the pace car will hang a left on one of the toughest pit roads in all of racing. We'll explain that here in just a little bit. And it will be in the hands of the top 2 in the points. Coming to the green flag, Daniel Falkingham and Pedro Mojica. 29 cars coming to the green flag for 130 laps. And 65 to halfway point as we're green at Dover. Clean off turn 2. So they dive it off into the 24 degrees of banking at turn 3 and 4. And Daniel going to pick up right where he left off at Talladega, and where he's left off pretty much all season long as he leads lap number 1. First battle on track is right there with Scott Simley. Jimmy Coleman there to his inside in the 54 car. On these newer tires, the bottom might be the way to go, but eventually you could see this line move up, which really could affect the tires later on in this race. Horsepower cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on the iRacing forums and on Facebook. Appreciate the new cameras they have offered us and letting us roll with here throughout the season as part of the partnership. As you see, Bob Gillenwater going to make a move in the 4 car inside Chad Coleman. And at Beast TV number 4, the Camaro going to get past the NOS Camaro. Unlike earlier today, we will get this race in. I promise there's no rain in iRacing. Jimmy making the pass on Simley. You see Doy Woods up the track already as Chuck Sweeting and Kevin D. Brown slide under him. There goes Mike Kelly and also Josh Adams in that Best Buy car. As Doy Woods unfortunately falling back here early in this race. Now Donnie Leah unfortunately did not take the green flag. Unfortunately will looks like get 29th, but 28 cars officially starting this race back here. Brian Wortman almost 3 wide as the 42 and 98 slide by. Actually, it's the 40 and 98. The 40 of Charles Woods, the 98 of John Mustian Jr. Eric Arnold sliding by, and there's Kevin England right there behind him. Here's your top 2, 7/10 of a second separation. Tyler Dalton there in 3rd, Tommy Ryan, and then the rest of the field right behind Tommy. In this fixed setup series that races 7 nights a week. But of course, they always kick off the new week here on Sunday nights on the Captain Esports Network. If you're watching tonight on the Sim500 Facebook page or on the Captain Facebook page on YouTube. Look how that purple car got the wall. or even on the Twitch channel. Multiple opportunities for you to check out some great racing here. We ride with Mike Kelly here. Dive off almost 2 stories into turn 1. And you come back up out of the canyon almost, if you will, up on the straightaway and dive it back off into turn 3 and 4. This track eats up tires. That's why it's called a monster. Time's already fallen off 4 to 5/10 a second right now. Simley under Coleman for position errors. Coleman's under attack. Simley had to get back in line there and allowed Kevin D. Brown to slide down to the bottom side here as he'll trying to make a pass on that Ford Mustang. Simley running that top side, able to hold the position off right now. One thing that makes Dover very tricky when it comes to passing is the fact you cannot slide up the track at all to complete a pass. So sometimes it allows the high side to get a run off the corner. So for instance, Mike Kelly there can't use the whole entire track to come up. So it kind of bogs the car down and doesn't allow the pass to happen. This track is very heavy on aerodynamics and very heavy on track position. As we are 15 laps in already. As Brown under attack now from Kelly, and the two will slide by and take the spot away. Looking back at the Supra. Issues for the 84 of Anthony Calantoni. He's fallen all the way back to the dead last position. Unfortunately, a half a track behind already from being lapped. Check back here towards the rear of the field. There's the 8 car of Randy Oakham, Kevin England back here, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, amongst others. Joey Jatina there in the 14 car. As we've been clean and green in these first 18 laps already. See the 99, Tommy Ryan doing a great job, 4th position, right behind Tyler Dalton in that 19 car. Eric Arnold looking back here on the 40 of Charles Wood. Not a battle for position. Unfortunately, Eric not able to get the run yet to complete that pass. This I mentioned the 9th race of the FEG Xfinity Series season. Those who can complete the most laps have a chance to win that Fanatec CSL Direct Drive wheel. And that's all thanks to the Ford Entertainment Group, which specializes in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines with over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with the front-to-back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. There's your leader, Daniel Falkingham, looking to make it 7 wins in 9 races. Now, tonight could be a little bit of a challenge because, as I've learned in racing, when you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader the whole time. So, how do you not follow the leader then? Well, tonight, tires are going to play a big role. And with there being 65 laps to the halfway point, I think you're going to see a lot of cars pitting right after lap 65. Now, if Daniel turns out to be one of those cars, I think you, at that point, will see a lot of cars stay out and run the rest of the run on fuel and try to get a caution, because this track is very notorious for having issues getting on the pit road. It is arguably the toughest pit road in all of racing, including iRacing. As Adams looks underneath Simley here, this is the 11th position. You almost have to start braking in turn 3, and then right there, that wall, that's pit road. So imagine going from 160, 140, 150, 160 mile an hour, somewhere in that range, to 35 miles an hour to that pit road and getting in there. I think that is going to play a major role as we watch Doy Woods underneath Kevin D. Brown. Doy up to the 9th position. Also back there, Josh Parker passing Simley. So Simley, unfortunately, going backwards. This is going to be one of 2 broadcasts you get to see this week as the return of the Great Lakes Sim Racing Truck Series season on the Captain Esports Network. Their 7th season here on the network, going to kick off Wednesday night in Daytona. 1.8 seconds separates the top 2. And then it's back here, Tyler Dalton with Tommy Ryan right there on his bumper, trying to get that 3rd position away. Bob Gillenwater, Chad Coleman. Mike Kelly there behind them, and then it's about a second back to Doy Woods, and then Jimmy Coleman in the 9th position. Oh, into the wall goes Jimmy Coleman. Not an easy thing to do, or not a hard thing to do here, I should say. At Dover, sliding up into the barriers. That's going to cost Jimmy at least 2 spots. As Chuck Sweeting tries to get underneath him. Oh, Jeff Ryan in trouble. Turn 3 and 4, and the caution's going to come out for the first time as Jeff gets stopped up in 3 and 4. Not sure what that's about. Usually that's a flat right front tire in real life, but the only way you can blow a tire here is if you wear it all the way out. So we'll see the leaders catch the pace car here. We'll see if they come to pit road or not. Well, this is going to make the strategy really interesting now because you're looking at 97 laps to go. So potentially looking at 247 or 48 lap runs to the finish now. Brian Wertman staying out to maybe lead a lap there. I say maybe because I'm not sure if he crossed the line first. Right side tires going on everyone. Left sides, and with ease, Daniel Falkingham will win the race off pit road. All right, we'll step away for a quick second. Actually, let's do this first. Let's show the caution replay. What happened to Jeff Ryan? Oh, there's somebody spinning up here ahead here. Oh, the 98 spins, and then Jeff Ryan just gets stopped. He kind of tags the outside wall. That was the, who was that spinning? Was that Livingston? And it was a purple car right there. Oh, it's John Mustin Jr. is who that was. Oh, he gets tagged by Randy Oakham into the corner. Nice save on his part, but then Jeff Ryan there in the 3 car goes up and tags the wall, and that brings the caution out. So, all right, as promised, real quick, we'll step away and come back and get you green flag racing here from the Dover Motor Speedway as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, as we're under caution for the first time here in Dover. 35 laps complete. This time by should get 1 to go. And want to remind you, you can check out the website, Sim500.com. That is the website of the league. All the great things that they have going on. Of course, they race each and every night. And tomorrow night, you'll see the Cup cars on the track. Actually, I've just pulled up the website myself. You'll see it tomorrow night on LSR TV. As they'll be in Dover, 160 laps tomorrow night. Chad Coleman winning the race Monday night in Talladega. Congratulations to Chad. But they'll be at Dover tomorrow night for 160 laps. Pace car going to bring him off turn 4. Flagman with the green flag in hand. You'll see it wave here in just a second. Packed house here at the Dover Motor Speedway. Green flag. Here we go. Back here, almost 3 wide with Doy Woods inside of Sweeting there, and they got Josh's battling each other for 11th and 12th. Jimmy Coleman to 54, Eric Arnold there to 31. Down the back straightaway. Another interesting feature about this Dover International, or Dover Motor Speedway now it is officially named, is in the infield is a horse racing track, believe it or not. That is why there's a big hotel on the back straightaway here, because that's for the gambling when they have horse races and stuff inside in what is called Dover Downs. As we watch Doy Woods get past Chad Coleman, bringing Parker with him. Coleman, one of the 4 drivers that has completed every lap this season. Trying to keep the streak going here as we're 9 races in after tonight. And Doy's on the move inside of Kevin D. Brown. That's for 7th. As we are less than 25 laps away from the halfway point. There's Tommy Ryan, his 6th position now, lost 2 spots. After that caution, as Gillen Water and Mike Kelly have both gone by the 99 car. Kelly is up 8 spots from 13th to 5th. Josh Parker, though, on the other side of things, from 24th to 8th. Now 7th as he goes by the 28 of Doy Woods. So Josh Parker in that non-sponsored number 81 car has been the car in the move so far tonight. Ron Holyfield, the 1 car, making a pass on the 8, or of the 40. It's once again, I'm getting that car number wrong. They move Charles Woods back a spot to 21st. Look here, Bob Gillenwater losing a spot to Mike Kelly, so Kelly continues to work his way up through the field, and that 2 car looking pretty solid. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention, given that caution coming out, the strategy has changed entirely here. I think now we're at 2 sprints to get to the finish of this race of roughly 45 to 48 laps. As everybody pitted at lap 33, 97 laps to go. You do roughly 48 laps. That gets you 96, so. I think you'll see a little bit of tire saving, but a lot of these guys are going to go and let these tires rip apart. So when it comes time to pit road, everybody can get their stops done. As again, 48 laps in. As Gillenwater runs in 3rd. Top 20 cars, I would say, only about a 4-second gap. So a lot of these cars very even time-wise. ride with Chuck Sweeting here in the 57. Carry a lot of speed around this track. As a matter of fact, went near 170 mile an hour down to turn 1. You don't get much of a break around here. Battle for position. Anthony Calantoni back here with the 44. Glenn Campbell. Calantoni making a pass. Calantoni, after he had some issues earlier, fell back to last, has worked his way all the way into the 17th position now in the 84 car. Up front, it is the Daniel Falkingham show. Still up 0.8 of a second. Pedro Mojica there in second. Tyler Dalton in third. Oh, one car in trouble back here. Looks like Wertman. Not sure if he got the wall or he's off the pace. A couple cars have gone by. Brian Wertman is a lap down right now in the 28th position. As we're 9 laps from the halfway point. Scott Simley following the 31 car. Oh, we got caution on the track. And it looks like it is Jeff Ryan and Doug Sigmund. The 3 and the 04 have wrecked over in 3 and 4. And the second caution comes out just shy of the halfway point. And while we re-rack them, let's see what happens here. 98 coming up behind the 3 here. Oh, and Mushing gets into the back of Ryan, I'm sorry, and their Sigmund comes in hard. So caution out for the second time. Tough break for these guys involved. Let's look one more time before the leaders come to pit road here. Unfortunate deal there. As caution out for the second time. And here come the leaders back to pit road. And Josh Adams actually going to stay out here. A little strategy move here, as some people want some stage points. Looks like 4 tires and fuel for everybody. And maybe strategy from Sweeting, 2 tires potentially. Or maybe in fuel only, as he's going to come out 6th. So we've got a little strategy coming into play here. As we're going to step away for a second. We'll come back and get you to halfway, and the stage points will be awarded here in just a couple minutes as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
All right, back here at Dover. And the strategy coming into play here as we're looking at the top 4 cars have come to stayed out here. As we're going to go green with about 4 laps to go. And before stage points get awarded to the field. Leader going to take the bottom side here, as we'll have 27 cars on the lead lap now, as Brian Wortman did get the lucky dog and is back on the lead lap. John Mustin Jr. on pit road right now, probably getting some damage fixed on that 98 car after the contact with Jeff Ryan, who is, I believe, back on track, but unfortunately 1 lap down. All right, things are going to get interesting here as Josh Adams, Jimmy Coleman, Joey Jatita, and Glenn Campbell, the top 4, all stayed out on this run. They last pitted at lap 33, almost 30 laps ago, and they're going to try to get stage points here. Daniel Falkingham, Pedro Mojica, Tyler Dalton, Mike Kelly, Ryan, and Gillenwater, your top 10 as we go green. And here come the fresh tires. 3 wide down the back. How about 4 wide at Dover? Mojica inside, going to take second. Adams going to try to protect, a little contact with Pedro. And look at Falkingham roll the outside. Two laps before the halfway point. Oh, more contact. As Adams going to let the high side roll with Falkingham. Pedro's probably not happy. And the final lap of the stage. As they cross the line, where will the top 10 end up? Chad Coleman going to end up with the 10th position. Oopsie, wrong button. And the final stage point. Mike Kelly up here running top 2-3 now. Tommy Ryan there behind him. And look at this, Pedro Mojica going for the lead. That might be the first time I've seen somebody almost pass Daniel here this season. So those who did not take tires, they have been shuffled out. Josh Adams all the way back to 15th. Jimmy Coleman to 18th right now. Joey Jatina, 21st position. As back here, Anthony Calantoni continues to come back up to the 11th position. As Eric Arnold follows him through. Here's Gerald Livingston, Randy Oakham back there in the 8. And Josh Adams continuing to fight with the older tires. You know, the good news is Josh did get some points out of it. And unfortunately, as we go into the long run here, those tires going to continue to take a beating. As I mentioned tonight, our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out in the forums of iRacing on Facebook. They also have their own website and so much more. The closest thing you'll see to the realest cameras that you see on TV is what you'll get out of TrackCams22.com. Make sure you check out their website today. And I mentioned this season, the Ford Entertainment Group giving away a Fanatec direct drive wheel to the person that completes the most laps this season. As we entered the race, we had 4 drivers tonight, no same 4 on the lead lap that have completed all the laps this season. But that's all thanks to the Ford Entertainment Group that specializes in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines, with over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with a front-to-back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. As you see, the lap car, Jeff Ryan, getting passed here on the outside, unfortunately under power. And Doug Sigmund there in the Kevin Harvick throwback, as he runs every week. Unfortunately, hoodless and a lap down also. Mojica has not let Daniel Falkingham get away, as it is down to 0.3 of a second. Mike Kelly there in the 2 car. running into third position. Josh Parker up 20 spots to the fourth position. He's only about 1 second back from this battle. There's Josh right there in the 81 car. $50 laps to go. As Brian Wertman goes a lap down, you see the 99 of Tommy Ryan behind him. Kevin D. Brown, Bob Gillenwater, Dalton Coleman, and Doy Wood, your top 10. And I'm really impressed with this 84 car tonight, this Jersey Cigar Lounge Camaro. Anthony Calantoni, I looked up earlier, and he was struggling and had fallen all the way back to dead last and was almost 3 seconds from the pack and has worked his way back up through the field and now sits in the 11th position with a chance at a top 10 finish. And what I assume would be the closest track to home for him outside of Pocono. And look at this, Parker under attack. Might actually get passed by somebody. As Tommy Ryan dives it off to the inside and makes the move. So Tommy up to the 4th spot, Parker back to 5th. So you wonder if Parker's maybe burned off his tires a little bit, which is not good because you're at a point right now where from here you can go all the way to the finish. So I think the pit crew, unless you get a caution, is putting up the equipment right now. Very nice, Cream. Chad Coleman making a pass on Tyler Dalton for 8th. .43 laps to go. All 28 cars that have entered this race are still running. Nobody behind the wall yet. And we do have some beaten up cars out there on track. Boy, Wood's out of shape as he's falling back a little bit here. Look at Calantoni rolling the high side on Dalton. Marco looking back at Bob Gillenwater having a great run in the 4 car. .40 laps to go. As as you see Mojica still holding off Kelly as Daniel Falkingham up there in front has led the most laps so far tonight as he looks for his 7th win in 9 races this season. Actually going to be coming up on some lap traffic here. I believe that's Jeff Ryan coming up here in front. This battle here is not fading away. Chad Coleman starting to put some pressure up here on the 4. We ride with the 38. As Doug Sigmund comes to pit road. Wonder if his engine expired on that car finally. How long he was out of the throttle for, very interesting. Oh, caution on the track. Brian Wortman has towed it to pit road. Oh, this race just got interesting. The 74 involved in this one. Let's see what happens. To a young man who I will say to this point knows more about racing than I do. And I say that very humbly because this guy knows a ton. Oh, his screen must have went bad or something. Look out! That is the sign of a black screen, as they call it on iRacing, where nothing's on your screen anymore and you have no clue what's going on. Tough break, and it brings the caution out. As the leaders will come back to pit road, Doy Woods is going to stay out. And I believe this should be the last set of tires for a lot of these guys. Yep, 3 sets of tires laying in the pits, I believe, so. More tires and fuel, and with ease, it'll be Daniel winning the race on pit road again. But this guy right here staying out, Doy Woods. As once again, we'll step away for a quick second. We'll come back, and how about we'll talk to a driver? So, yeah, we'll come back on the other side here on the Captain Esports Network from Dover.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, back here at Dover. Should have just gotten 2 to green. So real quickly, let's talk with a driver. Let's get in one of these Turn 1 Hero channels here. Let's talk to Mike Kelly. Mike, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, not much, my man. Let me turn you up a little bit here. But, Mike, you're having a great run this evening, and it's up and easy. You've had to work your way up here through the field, but you've run top 3 most of the night here. Sit back in 4th right now as one car stayed out on older tires. Do you got anything for the top 2?
Oh, maybe. You never know. I'm running right with them. I'm not running as hard as I can, but, you know, Daniel's not too easy to pass. As you probably saw, Pedro made an attempt to get around him once, and Daniel didn't like it too much. So I'm happy. You know, I just started 13th, didn't qualify too well. I'm going for a top 5 as usual. Consistency wins championship. So I'll try to hang with these guys on the restart and pray for no more yellows, because that'll cause some interesting drama possibly if we have another yellow now. There's some guys with an extra set still left in the pits. So I'm just hoping to go clean and green from here and go for a podium.
Absolutely, man. Well, you're doing a great job tonight. We appreciate your time. Go get them here at the Monster. And oh, by the way, Jay from Nova Scotia asked, are the Coleman's brothers?
You know, they might be. Call one of them up and ask them.
All right, Mike. Good job, man. We'll talk soon.
Thanks.
You too, buddy. Mike Kelly joining us, and that's an inside joke between him and I. He's heard me a couple times say they're brothers or mention the question of are the Coleman guys brothers, and they're actually not. But Mike will message me on the side and say they're not brothers. So, oh, okay. So there's a joke behind that. All right, so Doy Woods, the outside lane, is on older tires here. This could be a strategy if there's another caution in about 10 laps. Could put Doy in the catbird seat with a fresh set of balonies on that car. I know one thing's for sure. This is going to be our opportunity and your opportunity to do what we like to do and turn it up as we go back to racing here at Dover. Oh, trouble, Ron Holyfield. Ron Holyfield has gone around, and caution is out. I saw what looked like some argy-bargy back there. Then I saw the one car get turned sideways and into the inside wall. And back under caution we are. Oh, he's just going to get loose off the corner. That thing took off in the middle of the corner, actually. And Barney Fife Jr., the flag man there, waving a caution. A self-spin with the one car. And 28 laps to go. I don't think they did enough to bring those others to pit road for those tires. I think you had to wait a couple more laps here. This caution kind of hurts those guys on the older tires because you were hoping this would go about 10 laps or so, 10, 15 laps, then you get the tires. But Kevin England's going to come on pit road here, the B-Dubs 127 car. So Daniel Falkingham has led a majority of the laps tonight. Pedro Mojica has been second a majority of the laps tonight. And you know what? I want to talk to a guy back here mid-pack. A man who I made a compliment to him earlier. If he's even in chat here. Can I talk to him? Let's see. No, I can't even talk to him. He's not here. I was going to talk to Calantoni, but never mind. He's had a great run tonight after almost having some issues earlier. Let's actually move up a spot. Let's talk to Chad Coleman because I want to talk to him for a different reason. Hey, Chad, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, buddy. So I got to ask the obvious question here. So you are one of 4 drivers that have ran every lap so far this season after 8 3/4 races. Is anything changed yet on your side, being your race number 9, that is made you think about that and be like, you know what, I got to be patient now because I've got a chance here to complete all these laps or to win this wheel, or is that not even crossed your mind yet?
Nah, there's a long way to go. We're just we're still just racing. I mean, that's pretty much it. With this race tonight, I've tried to save tires, and then cautions came out at really shitty parts, and then it pretty much kills whatever you saved on tires because the run gets cut short, so it don't matter, and then you're screwed, and then we do it again, rinse, repeat. So yeah, tonight's just been a cluster of strategy.
So some little birdie told me that you won at Talladega Monday night.
I did. You should watch the clip. It's pretty badass.
So once again, a Georgia guy beat Alabama.
We did. 33-18.
All right, buddy. Best of luck.
Thanks, man.
All right. Let's get him down to his channel. There he is. Those are the races that you hate, the ones where the timing just is not cool when that kind of deal happens. All right, so 25 laps to go and we get the green. Daniel Falkingham, Pedro Mujica, Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly, Josh Parker, your top 10, or top 5, I should say. Real quickly, I am over here on the website. Shout out to Brian Hacker, who won the Super Late Model Series that runs on Tuesday nights, as Falkingham leads him back to the green. Everybody pretty much double file as the top 2 have gone single file, and now Kelly trying to hold off Tommy Ryan inside. Dirt Series ran on Thursday night, I believe it was, and Cody Gagliano winning his 6th race of the season there. Great job on his part. These are all serious. Oh, hold on, Tyler. Tyler Dalton all kinds of out of shape. Borderline having his hands and feet on the wheel. Truck Series, they ran Wednesday night at Texas. Harnish Gallagher winning that race. Congratulations to him. And then, of course, they have a Midnight Series that runs on Friday nights, the Midnight Thunder. Adam Gilliland winning that race at Talladega. It's funny, on their schedule it says their next race is maybe at the New Atlanta. Much like everybody else on iRacing, we're still waiting on the New Atlanta. Up front, Mojica is not letting Daniel get away. Gerald Livingston on scheduled pit stop. Everybody pretty much single file all the way back to Josh Adams. Ever since he lost that track position, saving tires, has not gotten any better in 16th position here where he battles John Mustian. Uh-oh, caution on the track for Kevin England. Back straightaway to self-cleaner. And this is the caution that drivers like Josh Adams, like Doy Woods, and a couple others might have needed. This is probably the caution you come get the tires if you have them. What happens to the Buffalo Wild Wings car? Looks like he might have just lost it off turn 2. I didn't see anything that looked like contact. We'll look at it one more time as we do have cars on pit road. There's nobody near him. Oh, yeah, back end swaps ends. Ouch. But look at this. Josh Adams, Chuck Sweeting, Jimmy Coleman, Glenn Campbell, Doy Woods. Let's watch whose cars lift up. I see Campbell lifting up. Josh Adams lifting up. Sweeting's lifting up. Back there, Joey Jatina's car. So it looks like we're going to have 6 or 7 cars that have that extra set of fuel goods. Let's talk to the boss man here for a second. Boss man.
Yo.
All right, buddy. I saw you come down there and put those tires on.
Yeah, we, Glenn, myself, and Jimmy, we tried something. We didn't know if it was going to work, and we got the caution we needed. We had the extra set of tires, so now it's drive the heck out of it and see how far we can get.
That's the question. How far do you think you can get?
I don't know, man. It just depends. I mean, it's all going to be risky, but I don't know. I think we can get to the top 10.
There you go. I like the challenge. I love it. Appreciate your time, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun here. Been a great race so far tonight.
Yep. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Joey Chatina there in the 14 car, as I call every guy who runs the league, the boss man. 4 fresh balonies on that car. And he's going to put them to use. So the leaders all came to pit road at lap 95. We're at lap 113 right now. Obviously, let's throw a couple caution laps in. So about 10 or so laps on these tires. Oh, by the way, I forgot that I didn't even get to the Throwback Series. That's broadcast on Extreme Sim TV Saturday nights. How about an 11:05 race time? That's a late one. And those are in the old 87 cars. They've been actually done since March, but looks like some fun racing in that series. But, of course, tonight, round number 9 about to be completed. Next week, the Lady in Black waitins us. Should be a fun one. In Darlington Raceway, virtually on iRacing. Here we go. First, we got to claim the monster before we see a lady. Look at those fresh tires go to work up there. I just saw Josh Adams pass about 4 cars, it looked like, on the high side. And Josh Adams or Kyle Busch. For second, Mike Kelly inside of Mojica. Pedro crossover. Kevin Brown there. Josh Parker's in that battle with Tommy Ryan. Oh, Josh Adams up the track. Looked like he and Moschin got together. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I have a feeling somebody's mad at somebody there. So we watch Coleman and Calantoni and Scott Simley here. This just shows you right here how tough it is to pass. When you see Mojica not able to get a run on Mike Kelly because of the air. I mean, you almost got to put the bumper to him. Oh, Mojica caught the apron there. Almost caught the wall. Oh, Mustian into somebody up there into the wall. As Doy Wood's going to go by. Here comes Chuck Sweeting with him. This is all the fresh tire brigade right here. Eight laps to go, and there's Falkingham pulling away. I saw some movement going on back here, so I figured I'd jump back. As the 44, Glenn Campbell, another car on fresh tires. Mustian putting a lot of pressure down on Campbell here. I'm going to keep the camera here because here comes the 56, and I don't know what happened a second ago. It didn't look pretty when I saw it. Oh, door slam! Saw that coming. Adams not happy with him. Mike Kelly still holding on to second. How about Kevin D. Brown up to third? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here's Daniel Falkingham working his way towards his his 7th win in 9 starts. Not bad to have like an 80-something percentage. That'd be 70-something, but who's counting? Here come the fresh tires. Doy Woods trying to get 11th. Almost into the back of Chad Coleman for 10th. Two laps to go. You can see where everybody lines up right now on the track. As off turn 4, white flag, final lap from Dover. And what is going to be a dominant effort tonight. The only 2 races he has not won all season, Daytona in the opener and Phoenix. Otherwise, it's been the Daniel Fockingham show, and it continues tonight. His 7th win in 9 races as the monster is claimed by Fockingham. And I'm going to go back here. Oh, boy. Saw that coming. Tension. While the burnouts are happening, I want to go back and see if I could find where the drama was happening. As you see the burnouts being laid by the 39. I have a feeling it happened right in here somewhere. Oh! Well, this is where all this happens. Well, contact there, and then 98 and 56 make contact. Up in the wall he goes. And then a couple laps later, this happens. Which leads to this at the finish. My first thought is I hope he doesn't have forced feedback or something in that wheel. All right, let's take a look at the final results. Drama. As Daniel wins it again, his 7th win. Mike Kelly, Kevin Brown finishing in the 3rd position. Tommy Ryan, Pedro Mojica, your top 5. Gillen, Water, Parker, Dalton, Woods, and Coleman, your top 10. Callan Tony, Scott Simley, Chuck Sweeting, Eric Arnold, Joey Jatina, Jimmy Coleman, Randy Okerman, Glenn Coleman. So Coleman, Jatina got up to 15th in the end with the 4 Mr. Feelgoods. Rest of the field is Adams, Woods, Ryan, Mustin, Kevin England finishing 23rd. J. Randall Watkins, 24th. Ron Holyfield, 25th. And then the cars that did not finish tonight, or at least finish a lap down, Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, Brian Wortman out of all the starters this evening. As we'll let's go live and let the ticker slide across as we talk to our top 3 from the race this evening. As we start with Kevin D. Brown. Great run for you, Kevin. Once again, talking to you in the top 3 tonight. Took a couple of cautions there, but Pedro, unfortunately, looks like was trying to get around Mike and lost the nose a little bit and clipped the apron and allowed you to pounce in that 93, and it was just so tough to pass up front.
Oh yeah, definitely. We were telling each other on the channel. We were just letting each other know, like, you can't pass worth crap. And I was really surprised that Mike got past Pedro there, because I know pretty much what you got to do is pretty much bump somebody out the way to pass him.
Right.
But it was a good race all around.
Yeah, you talked about the racing. I know a couple drivers talked about when I spoke with them about the strategy of it seemed like every time you'd get into a rhythm to maybe save tires or set up the pit stops or whatever, a caution would come out and kind of throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, the first run was pretty bad on my part. I saved tires probably the worst out of our group, and then the second and third run we did pretty good with saving tires and making up ground. And as soon as we start making up ground, boom, caution, which sucks. But I mean, all in all, like I said, good race.
Yeah, good points tonight for you. Another great finish tonight, and shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, Chris Caboo for painting the beautiful Racing Pride paint scheme for
Absolutely.
coming on. You for putting on a beautiful show as usual. Can't wait to watch it. And hopefully next week we can dethrone Daniel, because he is on a tear.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the compliment there. And of course, yeah, I try to Bob Ross it as much as I can. But in the end, you go to Darlington next week. So if not, who knows? Somebody might get in a fight with a lady next week. So we'll have to see. But great job and congratulations on your P3.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. Kevin D. Brown finishing in the 3rd position, as we'll talk to Mike Kelly now, 2nd place finisher. I was hoping I didn't hit you with the broadcaster's jinx, but great run for you, a great pass in the end to get 2nd, and you had to fight hard to hold off Pedro.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I mean, right after I got done talking to you, I looked up and I said, "What's Doy doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh boy, behind Doy, outside line." I'm like, I think this just may have been the end of my podium chances. But Tommy owed me one, so I got down into the corner hard. Luckily, at least, Doy got going good, and I was able to get back into 3rd. But yeah, that pass on Pedro, he had a little burble on the restart there, and Daniel was getting off going so fast he'd smoked me the other restarts. But I got up there beside him, and boy, he fought hard. If I had any chance of ever catching Daniel, it was gone after I got done passing Pedro. But good to get a top 3. I was just looking at the results. I've been peppering off some top 5s. Been wanting to get in here to talk about my sponsors and talk to you. And boy, the season got off a little rough, but really been firing off the good runs lately, and got a 2nd now. And if I can ever get a chance to beat this Mr. Falkingham, maybe we can pull off a win.
Well, you talked to me twice in one night, as a matter of fact, here. So you definitely earned a little percentage back of amount of talking to me this season. But yeah, it was a great night in the end for you and the team. I know it's not been the easiest season for you, but you've definitely battled. And the one tricky part about this schedule that's been put together is you go from a monster to a lady next week.
Yeah, I like that. This is one of my favorite tracks here. I generally run well at Dover if I can get some good race strategy and pit stops, but Darlington, that can go either way. Sometimes you'll get a little excited and burn that right front off and get yourself in trouble. But it's been a good season. Yeah, I mean, at Daytona I had a good run going. I have a new shifter that was sequential, and I shifted the wrong way.
Oh, buddy shift.
So some of this pain's been self-inflicted. I can't complain too much. So just good to be up here in the points, get in the top 5 solidly, and just run this season out and go for the chase. Been a fun season so far. A lot of good racing.
A lot of great racing. As a matter of fact, I had a caution-free race earlier this season, and some great racing, especially at a track like Dover, where it's pretty hard to pass. And you guys definitely put on a great show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's won 7 out of 10 now, so we need to get him to go on vacation for the summer or something and let us catch back up.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's fair to say, but otherwise he's getting his Kyle Larson out of the way, I guess. But great job tonight, man, and shouts where you like to, bud.
Thanks. Definitely shout out to FEG. Quite a prize they're putting up. I think I might be out of that one already. I'm about 50 laps down on that. I think I'm going to miss a race, so anyway, that's a cool prize they're putting up. Thanks to everyone at Sim500 and the admins. Thanks to you. and Captain Esports Network. I really enjoy watching these replays, even though I haven't really been able to talk on them yet.
It's okay.
And special thanks to North Carolina 811 Call Before You Dig. They're on my primary sponsor for Monday nights and on my cars for the other series that I run. So it's great that they've come on board and helped the league out so much and backed me a little bit. And thanks to Turn One Heroes, my team, Scotty. Scotty and I are about the only one running on Sundays. So great to be here. Great league. Hope to get to talk to you again next week at Darlington.
Sounds good, Mike. Well, appreciate it. Be safe. Enjoy your week, bud.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. Mike Kelly finishing in a second position. He'll probably think he sounds weird listening to himself talk to me tonight, but we'll see. Finishing second tonight, and I'm going to interrupt his live video to bring him up here. He always goes live, and Daniel is like used as the example. It seems like every week after the race, I actually will get done with this broadcast and go down there and have a drink and just laugh with everybody as we will look at replays of wrecks and stuff. But Daniel, sorry to interrupt your programming already in progress down there, but I don't know if you heard, but you won again.
Yeah, don't worry, we haven't started yet. Don't worry.
Wait for me. Let me get.
I wait for me to get pulled up, and then we'll go down and start it. So, but yeah, it was definitely a good race. I mean, I love Dover. It's definitely a good track for me. It was definitely good for me Thursday night in Road to Pro. We finished 5th, so definitely good for the points over there. But definitely. I mean, all I was running was Dover the last 2 weeks preparing for RTP. So definitely, I knew I had a lot of laps here. I knew how to take care of the tires, even though the Xfinity car is different from the trucks. Definitely got a little bit more horsepower and a little bit lower downforce. So definitely, it just was. This thing was definitely a plow block for sure. So you definitely had to take care of that right front. And thankfully, pretty much I found a good groove, found a good rhythm of what to do to not burn the tires off. So because I felt like I was really fast on every single run. Probably the only run I didn't feel comfortable was the final run before we pitted for our final set of tires, because I was having a run so hard to try to get to the lead, especially when Pedro got ahead of me on that restart where we were 4 wide and stuff. But after that, it was pretty much all smooth sailing.
Yeah, that we'll talk about that part here in a second. But I got to ask, obviously, with you were talking about the saving tires there. Seemed like the later part of that race, Pedro got closer to you and didn't let you go, kind of, so to say. It seemed early in the race you were able to get out there about a second and a half, and stay out there. In the latter part, it seemed like it was only about 0.3. Was that more you saving tires, or was it just the way the track was going?
It should have been in the track, because the track was definitely getting colder as the race was wanting to a close. So definitely we got more grip. Everyone's probably going to be more even. And probably Pedro was probably just pushing harder than I was, because he knew, if he could not get by me, then that was probably curtains. Because definitely once we got our final set of tires, then that was going to be the race right there. It was pretty much just going to be coming to the run of the checkered. So he was definitely trying to push to get around me there, but I still wanted to save, because I knew we were going to have to go a long run, probably 60 laps on tires, because we had enough fuel to go to the end after we pitted for our second set.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just trying to extra save. I think Pedro was maybe going a little bit harder. But yeah, definitely, I wasn't too worried, because from what I noticed, the outside lane at Dover is has more grip than it has ever had. You can just defend a lot easier on the outside, was what I noticed. So even if you got to run underneath me, like I saw a few times during the race in the middle part of the run, or middle part of the race, I could easily defend on that outside lane. So I wasn't worried if he got into the inside of me, because I knew I could get the drive up off the corner and pinch him down so he couldn't get the run. So, but definitely he had me on my toes for sure. Even if I made one big mistake, then it was curtains. So definitely I had to stay on my toes there, but thankfully everything all worked out.
Bonus question, kind of feeding off what you just said about the high line there, because, yeah, you did mention a couple times there Pedro got below you. Now, I won't mention any names, but there was a driver that I know that runs in one of the NASCAR circuits. He actually showed me a little tip about running that bottom groove, about how if you almost paint where the transition is around the corner, it seemed like there's more grip in the left side tires going around that corner. So thinking about that, and then you saying that high lines come into play, did it feel different because maybe the Xfinity car or the rubber on the track that made that high groove potentially work?
Yeah, potentially. I think it works in any car, from what I've noticed, because when we were running Road to Pro Thursday, the outside was definitely very key to making passes, especially on restarts, because all the spots I made up in Road to Pro on Thursday was literally around the outside. I passed 3, 4, or 5 people the entire race, and that's the only way I was able to pass, because it was so hard to pass. But plus, the trucks are much more aero dependent.
Right.
The Xfinity car, not so much. I mean, there's still that aspect of dirty air, but it's not as bad as the truck or the next gen. But I definitely learned, because I was definitely painting the bottom. because I just felt like if I tried to diamond that little too much, I would just scrub the right front off. So definitely trying to wrap that bottom, wrap the apron, is definitely worked for me. And I could definitely feel some really good grip down there where I could just feather the throttle and go around the corner like I could normally. So that was definitely helped me. I think that definitely helped me a lot on the first run because that's what I was doing a lot. Like, because this car was definitely dangerous, especially coming off the corners, especially off turn 2, where if you just apply the throttle too soon and too much, then you just go straight into the wall. So definitely wrapping that bottom was key for sure. But that outside really wasn't going to gain you any time. The only thing it was really good for was just defending or just being good on restarts. So, I mean, definitely you can work multiple lanes, but that bottom lane was definitely more preferred for sure.
So there you go. You heard a secret from both Daniel and myself of a secret to get around Dover. So congratulations, man. I'll let you get to celebrating, but what a tough race it was, especially getting around. I can forget who it was there on that run around that high side, making that move there for the lead. But that was a lot of fun to watch. But shout out to your lake too, bud.
Yep, just gotta thank January 31st, First Rate Laps 207 for all their support each and every week and throughout the entire season. I gotta thank Joey, Jimmy Coleman, all the guys who run the show every single day of the week. Thanks to everyone who races each and every week to make these races possible. Everyone team name, Chad, Josh, Pedro, Kevin, Doy, and the whole crew over there. Gotta thank FEG Ford Entertainment Group for all they do for the series, Jeff Ford, and then the whole crew. Also thank everyone at North Force Racing, Preston Gilson, the whole crew over there, and all my teammates over there, Gary, Parker White, Daniel Buttafuoco, Dylan Basin, David Shieldhouse. Like I said, we had a great run on Thursday night for Road to Pro. Looking to hopefully make another good run in a few weeks. We're into the top 70 points for the first time all year. We gotta stay there to make it to the next round. So we're having a great success over there right now. Hopefully we keep that rolling. But appreciate all those guys for all their support. Let me come do this as well. Gotta thank you for putting on the broadcast. One-man show every week, but you put on a heck of a broadcast, and you're a heck of a broadcaster. So appreciate for all you do. Thanks to friends and family for watching, and thanks to all the fans as well. And shout out to Cosman and Splashco Graphics for making me look good on the track each and every week.
And I appreciate you stalling there enough. I was actually checking. You said Parker White. Did Venerini? I'm trying to remember. Didn't he run like ARCA or something like that?
Parker White? No, not that
no.
I know of.
Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyways.
No,
yeah.
So I know.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, hey, congratulations. Go celebrate another one.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You too, buddy. Daniel Falkingham, the winner tonight here in Dover, his 7th win in 9 races. And I will add to the shout-outs, of course, thanks to the Ford Entertainment Group for allowing us to broadcast each and every week here with Sim500. And, of course, the FEG Xfinity Series. Thanks to Joey Datina and Jimmy Coleman and others for allowing me to be a part of this. Some fantastic racing so far. Pardon me. Sometimes we just take like a drink of water right before you get done with an interview. Yeah, for allowing us to be a part of the first 9 races here. What has been a very fun season so far here in the FEG Xfinity Series. Next week, Darlington, South Carolina, virtually here on iRacing. It's this league versus a lady in black. It's going to be a lot of fun going to Darlington. It's my favorite track, actually, believe it or not, to race at. And that sounds stupid to me to say, but it's just that true. I love it. All right, we're out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!